The ballad of Hathor Gilgan complete hey, जो practically summary ballad of Hathor Gilgan okay ना but invitation one book देगा पहले invitation okay, listen to me, students. Write down the summary of the ballad of Hathor Gilgan. The ballad of Hathor Gilgan la summary टा लेकिन ये मोते write down लेखा William Butler Yeats William Butler Yeats William Butler Yeats William Butler Yeats was essentially a romantic poet. Was essentially a romantic poet. Romantic poet. Full stop lekha. In his old age, he wrote poetry. In his old age, he wrote poetry. He wrote poetry completely deviated from romantic tradition. Deviated from romantic tradition. They were full of devotion. They were full of devotion. Full of devotion, comma, complete sacrifice, of self, before soul, complete sacrifice of self, SELF, before soul, 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 and singing the glory of the Almighty, the glory of the Almighty, comma, the Lord, creator, preserver, creator, comma, preserver, and destroyer, creator, comma, preserver, and destroyer. The Ballad of Father Gilgan. The Ballad of Father Gilgan. Mix. The Ballad of Father Gilgan is the story of Father Gilgan is the story of Father Gilgan who had dedicated his life who had dedicated his life in the welfare of mankind, in the welfare of mankind. After repeat Kaurji, who had dedicated his life in the welfare of mankind. Full stop. This is commonly called as service to mankind. As service to mankind. Service to mankind is service to God. Full stop. It is a moral that people guide. It is a moral that people guided by stupid notion. People guided by stupid notion to go to temple, worship images, and long for material benefits, and long for LONG, long for material benefits, full stop. But they neglect their living gods, like parents, and helpless people on the road, helpless people on the road. The poem is a beautiful lesson. The poem is a beautiful lesson to the mankind. The poem is a beautiful lesson to the mankind, which tells Go to the suffering mass. Go to the suffering mass. Go to the suffering mass and serve them. And serve them. Go to the suffering mass and serve them. Full stop. I live there. I live there. Full stop. I shall offer you. I shall offer you my blessings. I shall offer you my blessings. My blessings if you serve my people. If you serve my people. Stanza 1. Stanza 1. So far आज the poem, so far आज the poem, the ballad of Father Gilgan, the ballad of Father Gilgan is concerned it was epidemic time. It was epidemic time. It was epidemic time. Full stop. Thousands of people were dead and buried. Were dead and buried. B-U-R-I-E-D. Full stop. Green grass had covered the earth. Green grass had covered the earth. Over their burial. Over their burial. Burial. B-U-R-I-A-L. Burial. Others were in sick. Others were in sick. S-I-C-K, sick beds. Others were in sick beds. Sick beds and struggling for life. Sick beds and struggling for life. Full stop. Since a man of humanity, since a man of humanity, Father was busy. Father was busy attending them day and night. Attending them day and night. Full stop. He was very W-E-A-R-Y, very, comma, tired, T-I-R-E-D, tired, and exhausted. 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 Second stanza. Here, Father Gilgan was very tired and once it was evening time. It was evening time. Full stop. Moths were flying. Moths. MOTHS. Moths were flying. Moths were flying. And father sat on a chair. And father sat on a chair. And began nodding. NOTDDING. Full stop. At that time, a poor man sent for him. Sent, SENT, sent for him because there was a patient. In his house. Full stop. Getting this request at all time. When he was completely tired. When he was completely tired, father looked irritated and began complaining. Completely tired, father looked irritated. At odd time when he was completely tired, father looked irritated and he began complaining. Stanza 3. This stanza explains about Father Gilgan's complaint. To the poor man's messenger. I have no rest. No joy. No peace. Because people are dying. because people are dying day and night. Night. I am a machine. I am a man. I am a man, not a machine. And I can't go now. And I can't go now. Full stop. The man returned unhappily. The man returned unhappily. Full stop. Father Gilgan repented. Father Gilgan repented. Repented. Repented his negligence. Repented his negligence. He confessed that. He confessed that I could not attend the sick man. I could not attend the sick man because my body was tired. My body was tired, but my mind, M-I-N-D, my mind was ready to take up the challenge. To take up the challenge. Then students, stanza 4 and 5. Stanza 4 and 5. Father prayed to God. Father prayed to God. Father prayed to God, begging excuse. Begging excuse. Father prayed to God, begging excuse. Full step. Then he sat on the chair. Then he sat on the chair and fell asleep. Fell asleep. Full step. Gradually, the moth hour, the moth, M-O-T-H, gradually, the moth hour disappeared from the fields, the stars began to peep. The stars began to peep. The stars began to peep in the sky. In the sky. The stars began to peep in the sky. The wind blew gently. The wind blew gently, and leaves and leaves shook in the wind. Shook is H-O-O-K and leaves L-E-A-V-E-S and leaves shook in the wind. God covered the world. God covered the world. God covered the world with darkness. God covered the world with darkness and spoke to his disciples and spoke to his disciples 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 slowly. Problem and spoke to his disciples. Spelling out slowly. Acha. Stanza 6 and 7. Stanza 6 and 7. There is a saying. There is a saying. There is a saying. Action is God. There is a saying. Action is God. Father Gilgan. Father Gilgan. Father Gilgan woke up. W-O-K-E. Father Gilgan woke up at a sparrow chirp time. At a sparrow. Woke up at sparrow chirp time. Sparrow. S-P-A-R-R-O-W. Sparrow chirp. C-H-I-R-P. Sparrow chirp time. Full stop. The moths were seen again. The moths were seen again. Full stop. He suddenly remembered about. He suddenly remembered about the sick man. He suddenly remembered about the sick man who had invited him. Who had invited him the previous night. The previous night. So he rose his horse. R-O-U-S-E-D. Rose his horse out of sleep. And rode to the sick man's house. And rode to the sick man's house to attend him immediately. Stanza 8. Father Gilgan rode very quickly Father Gilgan rode very quickly and carelessly. And carelessly on the rocky lane and fen. On the rocky lane and fen. Rocky lane and fen. He reached at the sickman's door. He reached at the sickman's door and knocked on it. And knocked on it. The sick man's wife. The sick man's wife opened the door. Opened the door and was surprised. And was surprised on seeing yes double EING on seeing Father Gilgan. Father Gilgan. She asked father. She asked father, why did you come again? Why did you? She asked father, why did you come again? Stanza 9 and 10. Stanza 9 and 10. Father Gilgan asked, Father Gilgan asked the sick man's wife, about the condition of her husband. About the condition of her husband. She said that condition of her husband, full stop. She said that her husband had died. Her husband had died an hour before. An hour before. Hour, H-O-U-R, an hour before. She said, when you were gone, she said, when you were gone, she said, when you were gone, attending him last night, he turned and died as merry as a bird. As merry as a bird. As merry as a bird. Like Father Gilgan felt uneasy felt uneasy, uneasy, felt uneasy and uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Full stop. He knew that. He knew that. He knew that God had